Hey there, folks. Today I want to talk about fitting your pistol to your hand. Now, people have a lot of different views on this, but there's a couple of simple things that I really pay a lot of attention to when I'm fitting the gun to my hand, which this is important. You should do this if you're looking at, you want to be able to shoot the gun the most effectively. Now, the first thing I'll say, there are some guns where you're just going to have a hard time. Like the smaller we try to make this thing, it's going to get to a point where you can't really accomplish the objectives I'm talking about. But with a full-size pistol, most brands or most models anymore, there should be a way to do what I'm talking about. So anyway, let's get going. So there's a few things two dimensions I pay a lot of attention to when fitting the gun. And then there's a lot of stuff that I don't worry about too much. So the stuff in the don't worry about box would be like, can I reach the controls just with my dominant hand? So one thing that a lot of people kind of key in on is they want to be able to do all the stuff just with their dominant hand. Now, to me, I don't think I use anything where I can reach the magazine release like with my hand on the gun in a way that I'd be shooting it. I cannot get the magazine out of the gun. You'll see here, I've got to relax my hand a little bit and punch my thumb around to get to the magazine release. This is the case on everything I own. You'll see here I can manipulate the safety a little bit, but with this model of pistol, I wouldn't use this safety this way. I would get a bigger one. This is a double single that I would start it, hammer down. If this was a safety that I was intent on using, I would, like this, I need to be able to reach with my hand, without moving it around the gun. So if I was planning on using this, it would have to be bigger. But this is the only control I really need to reach. Instead, the slide stop, I can't reach that or use that. If I was going to use the slide stop, it would be with my non-dominant hand. I say this to say I'm not worried about being able to reach the controls really, unless it's a safety that I have to use. I think a lot of people key in on that. I really don't think that's a big deal, to be honest. Now, what do I think is important? Two dimensions, and that'll be first, the amount of real estate that I have here. If I put my dominant hand on the gun, do I have surface area here that I can actually work my hand into and hold the gun effectively? Now, in this case, I would say I don't really have that much surface area. I can't really get on the gun that well, so I would want to do something different. Now, that's a pretty common situation. On the Shadows, these factory grips, they're pretty horrible. They don't work for that many people. They're bad. I can't believe they ship the gun with these things, but they do. Anyway, these grips wouldn't really work. The nice thing about the Shadows is it's easy to get a slightly thicker grip panel here, and then I grab the gun with my dominant hand. This opens up a little more space, a little more of a pocket here, so I can get that firm, consistent connection on the gun. Now, most polymer pistols that come, you're going to have a variety of back straps that come with it, or you can just change, like on the SIGs, they could just change this, the whole grip, buy an aftermarket one. This is a pretty big innovation, honestly. This makes it possible that you go buy most models of guns and you're able to size the gun for you. It's the same look on this gun. Without a back strap on it, I don't have that much space here, but I can still get that firm connection. If I go one size bigger backstrap, I have a problem with the next dimension I'm going to talk about. But so this is the right way to shoot it for me, I think. The next size backstrap is a little too much. This is maybe a little bit, not quite enough for me, but it is shootable. Most people when they grip, bigger dudes than me, if they grip this thing, it'll look like this. They have no space in here to form a connection. So they would need a bigger backstrap. Okay? So ideally it looks, you have some space in here you can grab. So you size the pistol so you have space you can grab onto like so. Now, the other dimension to pay a lot of attention to is backstrap to the face of the trigger. All right. What I like is to be able to grab the pistol, and you can see I go up to the first knuckle. I'm a fan of that. Right, this makes it easy to sweep the trigger straight back like so. So this is a little deeper than most people like, but I do think for most people, most cases, this makes it easier to pull the trigger straight. So you'll see I prefer to get a lot of finger in here. Okay, so this dimension is really important. Now it's a little tougher to change this depending on the model of the pistol, but sometimes there's something you can do. Like in the case of the shadows, for like 2011s, you could get like a short, medium, long type of face on the trigger. With the shadows, a really common modification is a reach reduction kit. So let's grab this thing properly. Okay, so as I grab this thing properly, this is a factory trigger reach. All right, and you see I'm not perpendicular, like making it easy to sweep the trigger back. It requires conscious effort here as I work the trigger back to not move the pistol. Now, this pistol here has the reach reduction kit. So as you sit here and look at this thing on camera, you probably can't really see a difference between them, and it's very, very subtle. It's a very subtle difference, but inside here, reach reduction kit installed. Grip this thing properly. Even though these panels are slightly thicker, you can see now as I grab the trigger, I'm there, it's perpendicular, and I'm able to easily sweep it back. That's really the magic of paying attention to this dimension here. Backstrap to trigger face. You get the gun sized so you can pull that thing straight back. The reach reduction kit is a game changer on the shadows for me, as it is for many, many people, because again, that dimension is really important. Now, you can do certain things on certain models, not certain things on other models. There's different types of grip panels or back straps that are common. It depends on the size of your hands. You can't fit everything. What I'm saying is you can't fit everything to you perfectly, but typically there's a solution. And like I said, these two dimensions, like, do I have space to connect to the pistol and have that consistent, reliable technique where my hand's not coming off the gun? And am I able to actually reach to the trigger so I can pull it effectively? Those are the two things that I pay a lot of attention to when I'm sizing the gun. Like I said, there's not always a solution, but that's the stuff I'm paying attention to. If you want any more questions, comments, put it down below.